Can you imagine the world we would have grown up in if Toy Story's Woody, the beloved sheriff of our childhoods, had actually been a villain? Well, if Jeffrey Katzenberg had his way, that's a dark reality we would have had to live with. Before Pixar was even a thing, John Lasseter worked for Disney as a creatively curious animator whose dream was to make the first 3D movie. But this made him unpopular with Disney executives, who were happy to keep using the same style Walt himself created. An opportunity came up to produce a 2D 3D animated hybrid based on the children's book classic Where the Wild Things Are. This project ended up being so expensive that Disney cancelled it altogether and fired John for pushing 3D animation too hard. John soon found work on the animation team at Lucasfilm, where he met Ed Catmull, a computer scientist who shared his 3D filmmaking dream. Together, they created the first 3D short to use squash and stretch called The Adventures of Andre and Walibi. This short was also significant for showing off the potential of 3D animation and led to Steve Jobs buying the animation department and renaming it Pixar. John's innovative work at Pixar was getting noticed, and Disney decided they wanted him back. Not wanting to leave his Pixar family, he agreed to direct a movie for Disney at his studio. One of his first ideas was a Christmas special based on a short he made called Tin Toy. This was also the first media to use RenderMan, a new animation system created by Ed that has been used on every Pixar movie since. However, Disney wanted a full-on theatrical release, using Tin Toy and the toys of his youth as inspiration. He envisioned a story about an old-timey sheriff doll competing with a futuristic action figure. The movie was greenlit, but Disney's Jeffrey Katzenberg had very different ideas on character development. He felt a darker, more edgy protagonist would give the film wider appeal. Reluctantly, against their better judgment, John and the Pixar team followed Katzenberg's directive. They worked on Toy Story for 2 years until 1993, when they finished half the storyboards and went to Disney to present. This iteration became known as the Black Friday reel because of the unlikable, almost villainous nature of the Woody character. Disney hated it and wanted to cancel the project. John was embarrassed, regretting not listening to his own instincts. But he and the rest of the Pixar team knew they could turn it around if they followed their own vision. Disney eventually agreed, removing Katzenberg and letting John take control. With this trial, Pixar united, working together and becoming one mind. They put fun and creativity at the forefront and realized they don't need executives stepping in to tell them how to craft stories that even Disney couldn't match. 2 years later, Toy Story was released to great success, making John and Ed's dream a reality. Pixar would continue to improve their craft, eventually leading to a complete buyout by Disney, with John Lasseter and Ed Catmull in charge. You have taken your first steps into the world of Pixar, but to stay ahead in your Disney studies, you should watch my other video on the creation of Mickey Mouse.